How is the country supposed to get excited if we don't see this group of players show anything like the potential to perform well at the World Cup? I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to get to the World Cup next year, and it's going to be a largely unknown quantity if this U.S. team, as currently constructed with this manager, can compete well and go into the deep end of the tournament.
We have some USMNT news. Chrsitian Pulisic will miss this summer's Gold Cup as he recovers from a demanding season with Milan. 26-year-old was left off Pochettino's 27-man roster after battling several small injuries and logging 49 appearances, number 50 on tap in Saturday's season finale against Monza. Yunus Musa, Pulisic's Milan teammate, also will miss the tournament. Also absent, Weston McKennie and Timothy Weah and Gio Reyna. They're all set to play in the FIFA Club World Cup. New faces on the squad include Vancouver Whitecaps' Sebastian Berhalter, Orlando City's Alex Freeman, son of NFL Super Bowl winner Antonio Freeman, by the way, Philadelphia Union's Quinn Sullivan, and Cologne German-American striker Damian Downs. Serginho Dest returns from an ACL tear as the U.S. gears up for the friendlies against Turkey and Switzerland in June. Pochettino can only bring 26 players into the 2025 Gold Cup following these friendlies. CONCACAF's deadlines to finalize that squad is June 4th. Let's chat quickly about Chrsitian Pulisic's absence. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because you want to see him play with the U.S. national team. He is the leader of this team, the best player on the team. But we know how many injuries he's suffered in the past, and he's played a ton of games. This has been a relatively healthy season by his standards. What are your thoughts on him being excluded from the squad, maybe prioritizing next year and the World Cup and his upcoming European season to get ready for the World Cup rather than having him come in and play Gold Cup?
For me, the only generous interpretation of this decision is if Mauricio Pochettino, Chrsitian Pulisic, and the collective decided, you know what, it is better going into a World Cup year for us to be fresh rather than for us to have chemistry, which to me, on its face, doesn't make any sense. Because Anthony Robinson is also out, Yunus Musa is also out, and I am confused after the Nations League that we saw, which was abysmal. Losing to Panama, losing to Canada, finishing fourth. Here are the big absences. Obviously, the Juventus and Gio Reyna situation is at the Club World Cup. They have to be there. But no Robinson, no Musa, no Pulisic, and obviously Zendejas and Sargent are left out of the team. How is this team supposed to gather momentum? How is this team supposed to figure out how to play under Mauricio Pochettino if they're not doing it? All they're going to have are the September friendlies, the October friendlies, November friendlies, and March friendlies. Before a home World Cup, how is the country supposed to get excited if we don't see this group of players show anything like the potential to perform well at the World Cup? I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to get to the World Cup next year, and it's going to be a largely unknown quantity if this U.S. team, as currently constructed with this manager, can compete well and go into the deep end of the tournament. And I think for the U.S. soccer program, for American soccer writ large, for us that work in the game, the one thing that can happen for the sport to truly explode in this country is if the U.S. go deep at the World Cup. It will have the eyes of the world and the eyes of the country on this tournament, and it's the chance for the American people to get behind this team, to get behind this sport. And we need this national team to be ready to go. And so the only way for me that this can be seen as a positive is if Mauricio Pochettino and company decided it's better that you're fit and healthy for that than to play with us as a national team. But otherwise, I am perplexed as to how this is meant to help the United States when they are not playing together, and when they are playing together, they're playing poorly together. So if Pochettino is going to use this summer to find some solutions, great, but otherwise, I am confused as to how this team is meant to enter the World Cup next summer without any chemistry and without any signs that this team, this collective, has taken a step forward from getting knocked out in the last 16 fairly comfortably by the Netherlands at the last tournament. So I am confused by all of it, especially when, as you mentioned, reasonable health for Pulisic this season. He's played 49 games for Milan, and yet it seems like the breaks for him come with the national team. In my view, and obviously this is my very myopic view as an American, the national team games are more important. At this moment, I don't care about ninth place Milan. Yeah. I care about the U.S. men's national team. So I am really confused by this, if I'm being honest.
And I really found the comments from Pochettino interesting, right, where he says, you know, chemistry is kind of overrated, that the media kind of looks at chemistry, it's so important. That was an interesting comment because this team now has been playing together for so many years, and when they were on the pitch the last time together, it looked pretty bad, like they hadn't been playing together growing up through the youth ranks and on the first team together in major tournaments.
Basically been together as a national side, the core, right?
Right.
For 8 years?
Right.
Something like that going into a World Cup, and yet there are times where in the final third of the pitch they look like they've never played together. So this tournament better bring through some players. You mentioned Alex Freeman, you mentioned Damian Downs, some of these guys that we haven't seen a ton of. This tournament better reveal that some of those guys are ready to go. And honestly, if they go out in the quarterfinal, the semifinal, it might be deserved based off of the quality of the team that they've picked. And that would be, as a momentum, as a fan momentum, getting the country excited.
Yeah.
The World Cup is coming to the United States in a year's time. You want people to be fired up about the national team. And it seems like, based off the team that's going, they can surprise us. But based off the team that's going, you'd be shocked if they went on and won it and got the country fired up.